I do want to briefly show you the This Week in AI docket. I don't think you've seen this yet.
I haven't. So the docket, as you've probably heard on All In or This Week in Startups, is what I call the rundown of the news stories. Like a judge has a docket. I stole it from the podcast Red Scare because they just said at the top of their podcast, what's on the docket this week? And I thought that was funny. So that's where the term docket came from. It's not a technical term. It's a fun podcasting term.
So these are the current guests that we have booked for This Week in AI. And what I started with on this page was just the database, and no properties were filled out, and nothing else is on this page. And I asked it to create.
This is a Notion table.
Yes. And I asked it to help me create a docket, able to connect with the other database. I asked it to make, selections, drop downs, add the date of all these recordings, look at the guest database with all the guests, and take the ones that are booked and organize it with into the This Week in AI docket page, where when you click into the page, basically that's where the docket will live.
So here on the docket, it has Tony Zhao, the founder of Sunday Robotics, who's coming on the program. It explained in OSS, builds AI-powered robots to automate service tasks to hospitality. And then you have the funding. It's going to be research. Key, I don't know what that means. What is the key?
I think it's just key news. But this is still a work in progress, of course. But yeah, so it'll do the guests at the top. And then, of course, the rest of the docket will be filled in. But this next one, I think you'll be really excited about, which is this is linked to the page of the guests in our guest booking database. When you click in on the name of the company, it'll open that guest profile page that is in the guest booking database. And I basically had it run, Jason, your favorite guest research prompt, and it input it into their database.
Oh, wow. So what people don't know is when I was using Claude Cowork or just Claude Projects, amazing from Anthropic, I started telling it what I like to see in a docket. I'd like to see, obviously some quick facts, the company, the website, the GitHub, when it was founded, the valuation, a description of the company. But I also want to know some information about the founders, where they previously worked. I want to know the competitors. I'd like a timeline of the startup, and maybe some recent news. I would like to know if they've been on previous podcasts. This is something, the guest research, that would take how long typically previously? How long did we spend on a guest research?
2 hours per guest if we wanted to make it this detailed. What's crazy about this is
maybe more for this detailed, right?
This detailed would probably take 5+ hours.
5 hours.
I mean,
because this has media appearances, the timeline, has all their social accounts, and then it even put in like spicy questions potentially about them. Now, who knows if those are actually good, but it is something that kind of kickstarts it. So for this guest research, actually, let me pull in Lon, our editorial director. Lon, you could just chime in here. With these guest research, because you do the guest research when I did my interviews at Davos, and I said, hey, start with the guest research super mega prompt I made. How many hours would that mega prompt have taken you? And then how did that change the job, as it were?
Oh, it entirely changed the job. It's basically, I would say it's a 50% reduction in the time, because the first half of what I would have done would have just been watching podcast links, reading interviews, Googling, looking around for all of the best stuff I could find about that guest. And then I would take like a second hour to sort of put all of that together, write you some good questions and prompts in an informed way. And so what Claude does is it does the entire first half of that for me. So it's not polished, it's not finished, but it's the raw materials I need to glance over, look through very quickly, and then I can start pulling things out and writing you good questions. So yeah, I would say 40 to 50% reduction in the overall time.
I hear from founders venting all the time about how tough it is to hire great people. Well, let me tell you what the biggest game changer for our hiring process at launch has been: the LinkedIn Jobs AI Assistant. It's like having an amazing recruiting manager. We've been growing our team over the past year, and we filled multiple positions in weeks, not months, with this new AI assistant, which makes it so easy to post a new position without filling out a huge form with 1,000 steps. And it filters applicants based on the customized criteria that I set for the role. So only the best matches get surfaced. And I'm not stuck scanning through a million resumes. But that's not all. It also shows your post to 25 optimal candidates every day. So you can actually invite the most qualified people to apply for your position. So hire right the first time. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/twist, then promote it and get access to LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant. That's linkedin.com/twist to post your first job for free. Terms and conditions do apply.